Hi there, Prairie Plant Girl here. Well, I got another rain barrel today. I ordered this just a few days ago actually, and it arrived today, and I needed to hook it up. As you can see, I had two already, and I actually have two more on the other side of my yard, and then another one at the front yard. But I wanted another one back here. We have a lot of rainy weather in May and June, and then almost no rain throughout July and August. So I always wish I had more rainwater collected when it gets those dry months. So I decided to splash out a bit more money and get another rain barrel here. And when it arrived, I needed to get some hardware to connect it up with the rest. So when I went out to get the hardware, I saw strawberries at the garden center. Now this was a bag of strawberry roots, and I've been thinking about getting more strawberries to plant in the yard this year. And so I thought, well, I looked up the variety, and it's supposed to be a good Juneberry variety. It's Honeoye, I guess is how you'd say that. So I thought for 10 roots, for $8, it's worth a try. Now they were sitting in a bag in the store. I don't know how great they are, but thought I'd give them a try. And I actually thought there's big planters in the tops of these rain barrels. So I thought I would try using them as planters. I haven't actually ever used them as planters yet. So I'm going to fill them with soil and see how that goes with putting the strawberries there. Now the package here says these are hardy through zones 4 to 9, and I'm in zone 3, but I looked them up online, and places there said that they were hardy in zone 3 as well, so I'm not sure. So I'll probably take them out and pop them into an empty garden bed or something in the fall so they can have some time to root in, and hopefully I'll get them to overwinter and have them again in the spring. But these are a June-bearing variety, and that means that they'll produce the biggest, most abundant set of fruit in June, and then they will continue to produce kind of sporadically throughout the rest of the year, but most of their production will happen in June. So if you want to collect a lot for like freezing or making jam or something like that, then that's a variety that's good because you can pick them all at once and cook with them. But I'm really looking forward to having these. I do have a small strawberry patch over by my garden, and I think it has an Overbearing variety in it. I've had it for a lot of years, so I'm not sure what it is anymore. It might be multiple varieties, and some people will change out their strawberries every few years. I just let them set a runner here and there, cut back most of the runners, but I'll let them set a runner off of each plant once in a while when I have a bare spot, and they reproduce that way. So I'm not digging up the plants and replacing them with all new, but they are continually kind of rejuvenating themselves through that process. But anyways, I thought I'd bring you along as I plant these out, and we'll see how these planters actually work in these rain barrels. I'll bring you in so you can have a little look at what I'm dealing with here in these planters. Well, we're looking at that. I have the roots soaking just in a bucket of water. When you get things bare root, like perennials, it's usually a good idea to just soak them. So they've just been sitting here for about an hour now. And there's several here stuck together in a clump. But now they're nice and rehydrated. So they usually will take better if you soak your perennials that way. So that's what I've done here. I don't want to soak them too long though, so let's check out these planters and then get them filled up so that we can get these strawberries planted. So here's the top of the rain barrel. Now I've just stuck some pine cones I collected off the ground up here because I think I'll use them to top dress the strawberries. But so this here is the mesh screen that water would actually go down into. I just have one downspout hooked to that rain barrel, and then my barrels are all connected together. The dog is sniffing away at something here. What do you see down there, Buster? Buster, what are you doing? So I just have them all connected, and then I have one hose that goes out that I use off of all the barrels, and so they'll keep the same level, connecting them at the bottom like that. They'll all keep water at the same level. So when I hooked this third one in today, I had turned the taps off to those two, then hooked them all up. then turned all the taps on, and you could just hear the water running into this one until they're all at the same level. But anyways, so I just need the one downspout, and then they'll fill off of that. And then this is the planting area, and it just has a little drain, and it feels like felt or something here that will drain down into here. Now I have another rain barrel, and it has a similar kind of setup, but it doesn't, the overflow is higher than this. So this area will actually flood. Whereas these, the overflow, see if I can show you on the other, I'll show you on this rain barrel here. So my hand goes down to there, and you can see, hopefully you can tell then, that the overflow is at the level of the bottom of that planting space. So the plants shouldn't get drowned out in there. So what I'm going to fill them with is just a mixture. I've set on top here is a bag triple mix, and then underneath, if I can get to it, is some of my homemade compost. So I thought I'd mix the two together. That should make a nice, nutritious, fluffy soil. Strawberries will grow in pretty much anything that's well draining, but holds, some moisture when you water them. And they prefer something a little bit more acidic, but not horribly fussy on that. So I'm just going to take this, and I'll put a little bit of the triple mix in each, and then top them up with the homemade compost, and then mix it together. Okay, so I did about a mix of about a third of the triple mix to 2/3 of the homemade compost. And the reason I added the triple mix is just because the compost is very light and fluffy, and I'm a little bit concerned when we get into the drier months that it might be, just might be too dry and too light for the strawberries. So I just thought that would help it to be a little better for them. So I'm just going to make some mounds here. Now it says to plant them about 12 inches apart, but because this won't be a permanent home for them, I need to dump and drain my rain barrels every year. And if the strawberries are going to survive in my climate, they need to be planted in the ground. If you're going to try and overwinter something, you want to be about 2 hardiness zones colder. The plant should be hardy to 2 hardiness zones colder than where you live. So let's see if I can get these pulled apart here. So I'm going to try and put 3. There's 10 in that package. I think some were pretty small, so I might just sneak one into my other existing strawberry bed. But I'm going to try and put 3 in each of these containers here. So when these came, they were all like in a big clump with an elastic band around them, and I took the elastic band off to soak them and tried to separate them out a little bit. And then when you're planting them, so when you take that band off, sometimes you'll get some loose roots and things. That's okay. So when you're planting strawberries, you want to kind of make a little mound of soil. I'll need to get some more mix to put over top of these, but make a little mound of soil. And then you want to spread the roots out and kind of set it on the mound, because what you want to do is see where the roots join the old stems of the plant. There's a little union in here, and it's called the crown. And you want to keep it above the soil, but the soil should come like right up to the crown, but you don't want to bury it. So you just want to kind of set them like that. And I'll need to go grab a bit more soil so I can pile it up over here. Okay, so now that I have the roots sitting on their mounds here and the crowns pointing up, I'm just going to bring the soil up around there and level it up with the top of the mound, being careful not to cover the crown of the strawberry plant. And that's how easy planting strawberries is. So if you've been wanting to get some strawberries in your yard but not sure how to do it, going with the bare root is a really affordable way to do it. Instead of paying the same price I paid for 10 roots, you could wind up paying for one little plant at the nursery. So give it a try. Now I'm going to get the others planted up in these buckets, and I'll find a home for that one last root that I'll have left over, and I'll have lots of strawberries come June. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.